Hello and welcome to this tutorial on the Kemputing Classroom Planner. When you load the Kemputing website for the first time, you'll see three panels: Panel 1, Panel 2 and Panel 3. Panel 1 on the right hand side shows your classroom layout with the students sat in the chairs, girls being in green, boys being in blue, the teacher being in black and the whiteboard at the front, like so. On the left hand panel you have three option settings, which we're going to look at in more detail in a second. And bottom left we have some very common functions for a classroom. We have a clock, timer, and we have picking a student at random. If you go back to the right hand side, we're going to look at some very quick ways of manipulating the classroom. First of all, check that you're in seating plan mode. Over here, for example, you may not want Michael S sat next to Barry, so what we can do is we can select Michael S and we can drag him and put him at the back. Maybe you want Dennis to be sat next to Kermit. So you drag Dennis, drop him on Louisa, and they swap places like so. It's as easy as that. Over on the left hand side we have some different options. Now depending on how you've got this set up, you can select different classrooms. Okay, not that one because there's too many people in that class to actually sit in this classroom. But here you can see different classrooms. And on the left hand side we've got different rooms that we can sit them in. We will look a little bit later at how you can load your own rooms and how you can load your own classes, which obviously will make it useful for you. For the moment we'll have a look at how this classroom layout works. So we have everyone sat down at the moment, and we can, as I said before, drag people around like so until we get a class which we think works. If you want to be a little bit faster at this, we've given you a couple of options. So if you go over to sort, we can pick different ways of sorting them. For example, we can sort them in surname order. Unfortunately you can't see the surnames here, but trust me, that is in surname order. We can sort them in forename order, so we've got B, D, 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 E, E, H, and so on. And if you want to reverse that, so if you want, for example, Wayne to be sat at the front, followed by Tony, Sharon, Louisa, etc., you click on reverse order, and it reverses your class like so. So there's Wayne on seat number 1, Tony on seat number 2, and so on. With ability mode, and I certainly wouldn't recommend showing this to the class as you're doing it, you can seat your class in ability rankings. So with ability mode, if I click on that, I'll make sure reverse order isn't clicked. Ability mode, we've got Michael S, then Dennis, then Michael P. These are the smartest students I've got in my class, according to whichever scale that you're judging them on. If I reverse the order, you get the students sat at the front who may need a little bit more assistance. If you go to mixed ability, what we can do with that is we can mix up the smart students with the students that may need a bit more help. So if you look very carefully, I've got Michael S. Now Michael S is the front of the highest ability students, and if you're looking here, probably John D. Elizabeth will be the head of the lesser ability students. So if you go to mixed ability, you'll see that what we've done is we've actually mixed these people up. If you go to random, you can then sit the students randomly in the classroom however you wish. Now you may have a policy in your classroom that no boys should be sat next to boys and no girls sat next to girls. Not every class is going to allow for that, because some classes will obviously have more boys than girls or vice versa. But what we can do with this is we can get it as close as we possibly can by using the gender order down here. If you click on girl, boy, we make sure that no boy is sat next to a girl, or the opposite if we had more girls and boys. If you want to have blocks of girls all sat together and blocks of boys all sat together, we can click on gender blocks, so we've got all the girls sat at the back, the boys at the front, and again if you want to reverse that we can quite easily, like so. We'll take those off for the moment and we'll put it back into forename order so you can see everyone there. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is the ability to pick a student. Now imagine you've got a classroom like this and you want to ask a question. Now every teacher knows that students are always saying, why are you picking on me? So what we provided here is a pick a student, which means no student can hide beneath their books or under the table, because everyone stands a chance of being picked. So if I click on pick a student, off it goes, highlighting various people with a little timer until it finds one to select. So Michael S has been chosen. Just to prove to you that this is random, we'll click on pick a student again, and hopefully we've got a quite a large chance that this is going to get somebody different. So I go there and I get Denise, and then for a third time I could do that again, and I get Philippa. So what we're looking at here is we're looking at a mode to pick a student very quickly, which takes away any worries that from the student that you're picking on them, because this is completely random. The other big feature that we've got down here is the use of the timer. Now, often with the teacher that you run on teacher time, which is you say something's 5 minutes and maybe 10 minutes later you finally get to doing something. With a clock, it makes sure that you stay on time, and it gives you some other little features that you may like to use as well. So we've got a selection of clocks here, depending on your personal preference. I'm going to stick with digital because it's nice and simple. We can then, with digital, set an amount of time for a task to take place. So for example, you could give them 5 minutes. So they've got 5 minutes to complete a task. If you click on start, it starts ticking away, and I'm not sure you can hear this, but there's a horrible ticking sound. If you want to disable that, you can click on enable ticking and that disappears. So it's counting down, and 5 minutes later it's going to stop. We'll stop this for the moment. So we click on stop to stop it over here and reset, and we go back to 0. So you can have hours, you've got minutes, you've got seconds, and that's, I hope, pretty straightforward. To increase time this way, to decrease time this way. Now, we've got this other option here, which is picking a student after timer complete. This keeps the students really on their toes. You don't have to use this, so you can disable it if you want to. But if you do enable it, it means that the students can see the time on the board, they can hear the sound of it ticking, and they know that when the time expires, one of them will be picked at random. So nobody can hide, nobody can say, oh, don't stop picking on me, all that sort of stuff. You can make sure that it seems quite fair, and you can pick a student straight away. So let's go to pick student after timer complete, and let's very quickly put it on. Well, first of all, we'll do it without, and as you can see, it ticks down to 1. There we go, and it makes a nice little sound to say the time's up. If I turn it on, what's going to happen is when it counts down 3, 2, 1, 0, it disappears that, and it goes and picks a student at random to answer a question. So it really keeps the students on their toes, and it's very, very useful for setting short tasks, then picking a student really quickly, as you can hopefully see. That's what we're going to do just for the moment. I think that's enough for this tutorial. In another tutorial, I'm going to show you how to edit your classes. I'm going to show you how to edit the room and save that, and hopefully how you can make more use of this tool in your own classroom. Thank you.